here we are. Park Stickney さんです。Would you like to play us something?
Yeah, a little thing. This was just for us, just for now.
Just for now.
Yeah.
It's
Just a thing.
今即興で作ってくださいました。かっこいいですね。So you have a classical background.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get started into playing the jazz type?
Well, it's not this and then that. I was always doing different. I mean, I was starting with the classical thing, but I was also always fooling around. What I always say, which is kind of true and also not true, is that I was just a terrible student. I was always misbehaving, but musically. So I was always making up my own pieces because the harp, as you know, is one of the best toys you can possibly have. There's so many things to do. So I always treated it like that, improvising around. And so it wasn't jazz that I was playing, but it was in the jazz direction.
Right. Yeah, because of the pedals, you can set it in a key and no wrong note comes out.
That's right. Yeah, that's
so, it. Yeah. I think I took your master class like 10, 15 years ago. I can't remember.
Oh, wow. Where?
In Shanghai.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience, and it was eye-opening because I think you said, don't play so harpy.
I said this. Oh my
God! Or something.
Wow.
Or something so
great.
Don't be so pretty.
Well, okay. Well, but
something like that.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It depends on the context. But I'm sure it's from a very generous point of view.
No. But it makes so much sense.
The harp, yeah, it all works. As you say, you can set it in a key, and so then the advantage of that is you can just play, and it will all sound beautiful. And the disadvantage is it will all sound beautiful.
Right.
So ironically, when we spend so much time getting a good sound, hopefully a good sound, and then I think the next step is to not always play a good sound.
Yes,
I give you more colors.
I took that to heart.
Okay, good. Yes. So now you have a terrible sound.
I have terrible sound, and it's awful. And
Good for you. Then my work is done.
Well, but it was really eye-opening for me. It was really cool. Do you still play classical?
It happens sometimes. Theoretically, I'm doing a concerto in Cuba in January. So
Cuba.
Yeah. So, but it happens. I mean, sometimes I've subbed in orchestras and done various. And there's projects. I also have a lot of crossover things. Like I'll play with a flutist, and we played for a Bach festival where it was, Bach and things, but then also treated in an improvisational way. So it's but mostly what I'm doing is the improvisational kind of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. All right, next question. What were your first gigs?
Wow, that's a great question. No one ever asked this question. I think my first real gig was I was hired to play for this local church in my town in Arizona, and playing. It was midnight service. And I played "Oh Holy Night" with this singer, and it was really beautiful. And it was really, I had a great time. And I went back to that church for many years. It wasn't my church, but and played the same stuff. And then even years later, I went back, and so it's still, I still have this. That was maybe my first real gig.
Oh, nice. For Christmas.
Yeah, it was for Christmas on the 24th.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Why did you move to Switzerland?
My wife is Swiss.
Oh, I know that. Of course, it's always for the love.
That's right. I met her in India. She's Swiss, but she was traveling in India, and I was in India with a sort of famous jazz harpist named Daphne Hellman, who I met when I was 10 at the very first Jazz and Pop Harp Festival in Santa Barbara, California. And then, years later, I ended up meeting her in New York when I moved to New York, because she lived in New York. And I ended up living in her house because she had rooms she would rent out to various people. And she would always go to Hong Kong and sometimes to India, and she would always take somebody with her, like Doctor Who. Somebody to help her, like a companion.
You were a roadie.
Yeah, but we were playing together, and also this, and she would take a harp. She would take a small Salvi Daphne harp from New York to Sri Lanka and Hong Kong and India. So I met Christine in India, and then we started this romance and went back and forth. And then at the end, it seemed we still are some in New York and some in Switzerland. But at the beginning we were mostly in New York and a little bit in Switzerland, and now it's the other way around.
Sounds ideal because
as long as there's oil.
and the harp.
Yeah.
The harp is not a very portable instrument, so living in different locations, it's kind of my dream, but it's really difficult to arrange.
It's complicated, but it can happen. Of course it can happen. But then it's also hard to, because sometimes I think maybe this is a dumb idea. Maybe we should just choose where we live and just live there. But if we undo one of them, then you can't put it back. So because over years I've created this, there's a harp here and a harp there, and strings and a tuning key.
Yes.
And I think so now. I think that's the path.
And you're a firefighter.
Yes, I am. Woo! I mean, it's because it's very serious. It's not a hobby, but it's kind of a hobby also. Because the nice thing is in Switzerland, you can be a fireman or a firefighter without too much investment of time. So because it's all volunteer, small fire departments, and we have exercises, and we go around, and there are occasionally fires. I've done it for a long time, so I've been called for a handful of fires.
Actual
floods, actual fires,
wow.
With the hose and the thing.
Rescuing cats. No.
We did once. I was at a fire. We were sitting in our house outside, and then the alarm went off, and I realized, oh wait, I've been smelling smoke this whole time, and it was a garage just down the street. So I was the first one there, and we were there doing this stuff, and then we got a call just then for a cat in a tree, which I'd never had. But now I'm really. But then there was canceled. But no, it's really fun because. It's a way of meeting a lot of different people. I'm the only harpist in the fire department.
I can imagine
but
that.
Here's the better thing to say is that the fire department hired me once to play for their annual meeting. And they walk in with the flag of the fire department. They said, well, can you play a march? And I said, yes, I can play a march, but do you have an official march for the fire department? They said, no. I said, oh, maybe I could write you one. So I wrote them this march that had all these sort of puns about, I use like Bach, the solfege to make messages inside the thing, and
secret code.
And, a little bit with quotes from William Tell because it's Switzerland, and quotes from this song about the Chicago fire. And anyway, so I played this, but they use this for the doorbell of the main fire station. And I didn't know. Whenever I go to the main fire station, I'm always, because we're at a little fire station, I'm like, oh, who am I? I hope I'm not so ridiculous. And I was almost strange, but I'm always a little nervous. And this one time I went there, oh, that's me! They do love me.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you can write a little jingle for like the train station for Soka.
Yeah, but I'm fascinated by in the subway in Tokyo that each station has its own. I was writing down some of the melodies. I didn't have time this time, but I wanted to, because they play the melody just before the doors close, so it's hard to hear.
Yes.
So what you'd have to really do is stop and wait in each station one more train so you could really get it. But I think this is real. I have a piece. I thought, that could be us. If they've ever built a new station, I want to apply.
What do you enjoy doing outside of playing the harp? Because it's kind of aside from firefighting.
Firefighting. Well, I mean, I feel like the harp and music, it sort of touches everything that I do.
Like,
so
where's work and where is
there is. I don't have any work really. I mean, I do have work. I'm very successful.
very professional.
Yes, but it's not like. I mean, because this is a discussion I have with my wife, because she's a political scientist, so she has times when she works and then she has vacation. And I think, well, my ideal vacation would be that I would go somewhere, but just for one day, and then have a concert afterwards. So I think that, like, to travel around and to play music is the best thing you can do. You really meet the people. I think I'm not a really good tourist, because I never do tourism. I always just go and play. Right. And when I'm home, I like to do normal things. I like to cook and I like to read. I like to nap. I don't know. And so, but I don't have any extreme hobbies, because I'm sure you find the same. That our being a musician is so much more than a hobby. Like it takes up all of your space. Yeah. And because, for example, like this whole Rubik's Cube project, I'm able to fold in all my other interests. So you could say, yes, I'm interested in the Rubik's, but it's not really that. I'm just trying to figure everything out.
What did you like most about Japan? Again, nothing about the harp.
What do I like most about? I mean, I have this really rich relationship with Japan, because the first time I came here, when I came to Soka, it was for this 33 years ago. I was here for this tour of the show The Fantastics. And The Fantastics, which was the longest running musical on off-Broadway, I used to play for it. It was a very small musical, which is why. Do you know it? Do you know it? And this song? No. It was small, and it had in the orchestra just harp and piano. And so when that was my first gig in New York, is that I was hired to sub as a harpist for that, and then I became a sub for the piano as well, because I was one of the people who could do. I was the only one who did sort of that. So that was really important to me. When I first saw this music, something about the font of the score, I feel like I had this feeling that I knew it somehow, like eerily. It was really spoke to me, and I loved. That was really like a family for me. And then I got to come to do this. They did 2 or 3 tours of Japan, and so it was a 3-month tour in 30 different cities. And we had 1 day off at the end. It happened to be during Soka, and so I got invited to play a piece. But the day that I left for Japan to go on this tour, many things happened in my life. I mean, that day I moved out of my apartment because I'll be gone for 3 months, so I'll just stop. My lease stops this day. I'll just. There was another harpist living in the basement, or living in the apartment. So she had her harp trunk in the basement. And I just left my harp trunk also in the basement empty and just put all my belongings, because I just finished being a student, so I didn't really have anything. So I just put that in there and just left. The day before I bought my first computer, I bought this program Finale, which is a notation program. And the other harpist in the building, she was moving in when I was moving out. We ended up calling the fire department because she hit some canister and this gas was going out. And so we went to this all the night before, like at 2 a.m, and we went to the front desk of the apartment and said, should we do something? She said, no, it's all fine. I said, I don't think it's fine. So I called the fire department. So I remember now it's like 4 a.m, standing outside this September morning and watching the fire department come from Lincoln Center up and Amsterdam Avenue. And so now, and many things happened. It was a life-changing thing. And I'm still in contact with people from this tour. It was really, we all agree, it was something that changed our lives. And then now, 33 years later, the day before I go to Japan, I'm in the fire department. I have a rehearsal, an exercise about the radio that night before I leave to come to the airport. My Finale, this program, now this year stops. They stopped the program. It's finished. So in 1992, it was just the beginning of Finale, and it lasted 33 years. So now I fly to Japan thinking, I've got to learn this new program, which is when I installed Finale in my computer on the flight to Tokyo. And so there was...
And I had the grand finale.
Yeah, I know, I'm dying. But I just really feel like this trip, and also that's because of, with this Rubik's Cube project of learning this text in Japanese, for some, I don't know why I had this idea, but I don't know how I was able to keep this kind of excitement and concentration about learning this really long text over 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah, it's been, my wife now hates, she's so tired of this project. Because it started off with just me in flashcards, and she's like, oh, that's nice, that's good. And then it was really working with it, and I had it in my ear nonstop. So I'd be washing the dishes, and she'd talk to me, and she'd say, wait, are you listening to your Japanese? I was like, yes, but because you're not answering me. But I think that it's that same kind of feeling, that this is, it's not like, I don't know, I think it's such a big deal to come here because it's really far away that you can't just casually, I mean, maybe you can, but you can't just casually just go, what are you doing tomorrow? I don't know, should we go to Japan? No. It's a big deal, so you have to take it seriously, and I think so that's a very long answer, but because of course it's beautiful, and the people are wonderful, and the food is amazing, and it's really interesting, and I like also the fact that because I don't really read. I mean, I'm looking at the hiragana and katakana, but you get so much information that you cannot process. You don't in English. I don't see everything because you don't see the things you don't need to see. You don't see an exit sign until you need it.
Right.
And here you have all this information. You have no idea what's important and not important. Right. So it's really, and I don't know. I think it really makes your brain. It tickles your brain. This is what I like a lot.
That's interesting.
I'm really just thrilled.
Okay. Maybe last thing.
Okay.
Any messages to the viewers? I don't know how many people will be watching. Japanese harpists mostly.
So this is for Japanese harpists.
Yes.
Okay. And how many of these have you done?
0.
This is the first one. So I guess if you're watching this, then you're probably a harpist. And either you're playing jazz or you're not playing jazz. And I guess if you're playing jazz, then you should keep doing that. It's really great. Good for you. Thank you. And if you're not, you should think about it because it's not so hard to play in a way. Like you can do complicated things, but I think what I find is that it's a way to just to remind yourself how much fun it is to play the harp.
Yes.
And then it's so in the end when I'm playing classical things, I try to have as much fun as I do with the jazz. So it's only about this. It's not about a should or responsibility or. Yeah, I talked to one person where she said, yes, I just want to be responsible to the elders of the tradition. And I thought, no, really? I just want to have as much fun as I can with this life that I get. And also because it's taken, maybe this is the thing, it takes so much societal energy for us to become harpists. Like, yes. And your parents probably invested in you, but before them, like it's a massive, it's like a tuna. There's so much energy involved in creating you. So then your responsibility is to have as much joy as you can with this thing.
That sounds great. I will take that to heart too. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yay!
All right. Oh yes.
Is there a theme?
This is the jingle.